Welcome back to another Flashback Friday, guys. Sorry we didn't get one out last Friday. Just got busy after the U.S. Open. Me and the wife went through Colorado, and there's just no cell phone service at all out there. It's been a couple days, and we always love coming through Colorado. It's a beautiful, beautiful state. But just going to talk about the U.S. Open and how that tournament shook out. Ended up finishing second, had a great event. This was my third year fishing the U.S. Open. 2022 was my first year and finished second that year. Finished fourth last year and second again this year. So, man, I've been so close. Had a shot to win all 3 years going out the final day. And last year when I finished fourth was actually the year I had the best shot, honestly. I mean, I was only like a pound back going into that last day and only had to catch like 18 pounds to win and just didn't. Last year was really weird out there. I mean, the fishing was tough. The water was a lot cooler. Fish were a lot more spread out. A lot of them really shallow, and just didn't really catch them much. I mean, I wasn't getting but 7 to 10 bites a day, and lost a couple big ones in that event that really cost me. But still had a great tournament this year. And in 2022, though, it was phenomenal. I mean, just catching so many. I think the worst day I had this year was the last day. I still had just over 21 pounds, but it was by far the worst day I had, and I think I still caught 4 limits over 18 pounds. So it was just, it was incredible this year. Caught all my fish on a drop shot mainly, caught some on a little swim bait, just covering a lot of water out there using my Garmin livesope, finding these fish. Most of these fish I was catching was in that 15 to 25. I did catch a few deeper than 30, even caught some in 40. But, for the most part, most of them fish were in that 15 to 25 foot range. It wasn't really a rhyme or reason necessarily where a lot of them were. Some of them were really back in pockets, wide pockets, narrow pockets. Some of them were down steeper banks. Some of them were on flat banks. It's one of them deals just covering water. There was a lot of carp this year up too as well, and a lot of these smallmouth were blended in with these carp. You really had to know what you were looking for in order to be able to pick out these carp, or these smallmouth versus these carp, because a lot of the biggest smallmouth I caught would be swimming in behind a school of carp, so there'd be 20 or 30 carp, and these carp are pretty good size, but they're not, a lot of them weren't real big. A lot of catfish as well. They were, a lot of these fish, these trash fish, were in that 4 to 7 pound range. They looked to be on the scope. So it made it really difficult to be able to tell the difference between a 5 pound trash fish and a 5 pound smallmouth. So you had to really be able to learn and know to be able to identify the way the fish was swimming, looking for a fish swimming in a different direction than the rest of them. Maybe the demeanor of the fish in the water was just seeming a little bit different. That's how I'm able to pick out what is a bass versus what is a trash fish. I get that asked a lot. And usually trash fish, there's several of them. They're all swimming kind of the same way. And a bass is always a little different. He's usually swimming in a different direction, or he's up higher, he's down lower. And they're usually constantly swimming. A trash fish, a lot of time, would be sitting still, or they'll swim and then they'll stop, they'll swim and then they'll stop. So just a lot of little different things that you have to learn out there using livesope. That it's such a great tool, and there is a big time art to being able to catch them livesope. Anybody can go down the bank throwing a buzzbait, chatterbait, pitching or flipping and catch them. Not a lot of people can catch them scoping. I mean, it's a very difficult way to catch them. That's why it's just crazy to me, hear people talking about scope, wanting to get rid of it because it's just too easy, and it's not. If it was, everybody would be doing it, and nobody would want to get rid of it if it was really that easy. It's difficult. I mean, being able to pick out the fish and know which ones to throw out, if the fish is catchable or not, by when she sees your bait the first time. There's so much goes into it. Every time I go, I learn something new. Every year I've been out in my hobby, I've learned more. Can't wait for next year's U.S. Open. Feeling really good about it. I went back with a couple little things this year that I saw from last year, and I really kind of studied a lot of things this year going into this one that I'd learned from last year, and it really paid off big time. And I think I've seen some more things this year that's really going to help me for this upcoming U.S. Open. So hopefully 2025 will be the year we'll finally get to hoist that U.S. Open trophy. If there was one tournament I could win the rest of my life, that's the one I want to win. I really, really want to win that. I'd rather win the U.S. Open than a Bass Pro Tour event. There's so much prestige in that tournament out there. I mean, some of the anglers' names that's on that trophy and the guys that have won that, it's just incredible. And I want to be a part of that, you know. I don't think anybody in the state of Arkansas has ever won it before that I'm aware of. So that's something I really want to accomplish. It's a tournament I bad want to win, and I would love to have that tournament on my resume. But Mojave is an incredible fishery. It's so full of big smallmouth, a lot of big largemouth, and I just look forward to going out there every year. Gin clear, you know, you guys saw my last video, I was talking about the water clarities anywhere from 15 to 25 foot. Most places it's in that 18 to 22 foot range is where you can see the bottom. So it's gin clear. It's a lot like the Great Lakes. Fish is a lot like the Great Lakes as far as for smallmouth. Those fish out there are really healthy. This year they were really on shad. Last year was more of a crawfish deal. I caught a lot of fish this year that were puking up crawfish, but they were real small, the crawfish, most of them this year that they were puking up. Last year, some of these crawfish were huge. I mean, they were like baby lobsters. I mean, they were giant crawfish, bright red. And I don't know if maybe that's why they were tougher to catch, because they were so keyed in on that bright red crawfish and that big profile that I just couldn't really catch them on my smaller stuff. But this year they were back kind of more on the bait fish again. It seemed like a lot of them are puking up bait fish in that 2 to 3.5 inch range. And I was able to catch them on bait fish imitators a lot. But caught them all, like I said, mainly on a drop shot. Caught some on a Ned rig, but it was mainly drop shot for me, using a 3/8 and a half ounce drop shot, arc tungsten drop shot weight, a size 1 and 2 Gamakatsu drop shot split shot hook, and I was using a 8-pound Yozuri T7, 6 and 8 pound Yozuri T7, 100% fluorocarbon with a 15-pound Yozuri high-vis white braided line, and you know, obviously using a leader on that fluorocarbon leader. I usually use about an 8 to 10 foot leader. That's the deal for me. Arc 7.3 medium light reinforcer spinning rod with an arc gravity spinning reel on that. Guys, that was my setup, and you know, that's been the setup mainly for me all year this year. Drop shot Demiki, but on that same rod, same line, real setup, and it's just worked flawless for me all year this year. So can't wait to get back out there next year. Got the team series coming up next, November 17th through the 22nd. I'm already looking forward to that. It got released. We got our email or where we're going. We're going to Vero Beach, Florida. So I know several of the bodies of water around there. I've spent quite a bit of time fishing around Vero Beach. So I'm pretty sure we'll be fishing somewhere I've fished before. Me and my good buddy Matt Becker, he spent some time in that area as well. So hopefully we'll be well seasoned when we get there. It's on a body of water that we're pretty familiar with, that we spent a few days on. And I'm looking so forward to it. Going to pick up my brand new boat Tuesday morning. Cannot wait to share that with you guys. Got some pretty exciting news on that. It's already ready. I've never had a boat before Christmas before my new boat. So this year I'm going to have my brand new boat that I'm going to be fishing out of in the 2025 season. I will have it ready, rigged, and be fishing out of it by this time next week. And that's just incredible. I'm going to have a brand new boat ready, rigged, and breaking it in before the 1st of November. So I'm really excited about it. Got a great fall coming up. The fishing around here is excellent. Shot a lot of video today with Yozuri that'll be coming up pretty soon on their YouTube page. Catching them on top water, the new 3DB weight prop bait, and went down on Lake DeGray and just caught a mess of them. So a lot of exciting things going on right now, and can't wait to share some of it with you guys. I appreciate y'all watching, and we'll catch you again next Friday.